Right, so running is running, but there are many different distances that you can run. On the roads, the classic distances are from 5k to the marathon. But then you also get something like the Comrades Marathon in South Africa, which is 90 kilometers long. And then you get to trail running or ultra running, which can be anything from 50k to 100 miles. And then you also get some absolutely crazy people that pay money, a lot of money, to run 200 plus miles. Something that I don't even want to think about. But what is better, running on the roads or hitting the trails and going over mountains? Can you train for one and do both? Are they both fun? And which one is harder? So I'll try and explain, according to me, what are the differences and how I see trail running versus road running. First of all, I like to mix things up, and that's the main reason why I do both. Not to do the same thing over and over again. So a little bit of asphalt, a little bit of dirt and rocks, and a shitload of mountains. That's cool and nice, but when it gets to training, it gets a bit tricky. For the roads, you want fast legs, hit consistent paces, and your race time is relatively short and run on a flat course. But in trail running, you need climbing legs that can go for, in my case, 24 hours and more. You are constantly going up and down. If you've ever done a long trail run in your life, you will know the feeling of your quads at some point saying, all right boys, that's enough, we're done here. So your training is heavily focused on hitting the hills and getting in as much elevation gain as possible per week. For me personally, in road races, I go max power to try and run as fast as possible. In trail running, my only goal is to survive and get to the finish line. I do not care about time at all. So if I'm splitting my year into a road and a trail season, well, that's a problem, because I have to build two different bodies. Just finishing a road marathon with trail running training is okay, but trying to run a sub 3-hour marathon just 4 months after my trail season, well, that doesn't work so well for me. And believe me, I've made that mistake way too many times. And now the fun factor. I always say that trail running is more fun than road running, but both are fun in different ways. With road running, you can hit this groove or tempo where you can just tick off the kilometers. It's consistent and it takes a lot of focus and concentration to hit your splits and make sure that you don't mess it up early in the race. And I do like that. I like the planning and precision it takes to hit some really fast time. And it's just fun to go absolute balls to the walls, run as hard as you can and chase some fast times. You are between people and you can hear the footsteps, the breathing, the moans and groans and the swearing as you fight this monster together. Trail running, well, it's just awesome to run through the mountains, between trees and over streams and rivers. You also get to run through the night, which is scary and beautiful at the same time. The unpredictable terrain just always keeps it interesting. Stopping at the aid stations with all the food and drinks, eating watermelon and drinking Red Bull at 2 AM in the morning in the middle of nowhere while talking to the aid station workers. Weird and wonderful. So for me, it's just fun to see how far I can push myself. On the roads as fast as possible and on the trails as far as possible. What hurts more? I'll compare running a sub 3-hour road marathon to running 130 kilometers in the mountains. My sub 3-hour marathon in Slovenia was probably the most amount of pain I've ever endured while running. The pain was just constant, and you cannot slow down because then you don't make it. So you're so deep into the red, but you have to keep throwing gas onto that fire to keep the wheels turning. With trail running, it's about constantly moving forward. In my case, I'm moving so slow So it's not really about your engine, but more about saving your legs as much as possible and hoping they don't explode at some point. I mean, of course your legs hurt after 20+ hours, but it's more like an irritating type of pain than a full blast attack on your legs. You can stop and rest at aid stations, and you can even sit down for a while and regroup a bit. So you are way more in control and you can manage the pain much better than on the roads. You usually have a lot of time to finish these races, so 10 minutes here and there won't really make a difference. I can proudly say that I have spent 40 minutes at a single aid station in races before, washing my feet, feeling sorry for myself, eating goulash and questioning my life. But eventually you have to get up and go again. Take a dump under a tree, eat another gel or another energy bar, and get on with your day. Talking about gels and goulash, how do you keep your body powered up during these races? Nutrition is very important if you don't want to crash and burn on race day. For the roads, it's kind of simple. Take gels, get in electrolytes, drink water, and run as fast as you can. Yes, you can get very scientific about your nutrition plan and do sweat tests and. But basically, you know and plan your carb and electrolyte needs per hour, and you stick to that plan until you reach the finish line. For the trails, it's also that. But you have to do it for a very, very long time and constantly. It's almost like a race within a race to see how much shit you can force down your throat while moving through the mountains. And I can promise you, after 24 hours on your feet, you don't want to see another gel or open another energy bar or smell another piece of salami or cheese. You also lose track of time, so you can't really remember when you actually took something the last time. And you also have to decide which thing in your pack is the best of all the shitty options. But you have to keep on eating, even though you're not hungry. Otherwise your day will just spiral straight down to hell. And after 10 gels and who knows what else, that warm soup at the main aid station tastes like a 5-star meal. So to answer the actual question, what is more fun, roads or trails? I still think that I lean more towards the trails. It's just way more fun to be in the mountains for hours and hours. You see so much, go over all kinds of different terrain, and running in the Alps, for example, is one of the coolest things that I've ever done. But I also like the challenge, a different challenge that road running brings. Running fast and fighting every single kilometer to shave off minutes or sometimes even seconds from your finish time. But I'm super glad I'm doing both. Speed on the roads and survive on the trails. But just run as much as you can. Clean shoes on the roads or dirty shoes and headlamps on the trails. Running wins, and it's the best, always.
You can see the ride in